Hey, what's going on, Z Nation? Zaid here, ZSPN. And today, guys, we're going to be talking about the Los Angeles Lakers as it concerns Rajon Rondo and a particular team that's showing a lot of interest in Rajon Rondo for the 2020 free agency in the LA Clippers. The LA Clippers have just put out there that they are showing a lot of interest in playoff Rondo and the ability to upgrade their point guard position from Patrick Beverley to Rajon Rondo. And, I just want to give you guys my thoughts and my opinions about the interests in the Clippers in Rajon Rondo and what does this all means for the Lakers moving forward into the NBA free agency. And, and what if the possibility if they do somehow lose Rajon Rondo in this particular, idea for the Clippers to pursue Rajon Rondo in free agency. So without further ado, let's just get right into it. So, guys, in this report, according to Mark Stein on Twitter and from Bleacher Report, there's been reports that are saying that the LA Clippers are eyeing Rajon Rondo in free agency. Now, we already know the background for 2 weeks ago of the status of Rajon Rondo. We already know that he opted out of his contract with the Los Angeles Lakers, and he said that he wants to test the free agency market because he won the NBA championship for the Los Angeles Lakers this year, and you know what? There's a lot of status for him to potentially join a contending team if they're going to be giving him a huge raise for his performance in the playoffs. I mean, playoff Rondo was a huge, a huge objective that was in the Lakers' success in this win in 2020. So, it kind of puts things now into perspective of what the Lakers are going to do now moving forward when it comes to, the idea of they're going to potentially lose Rajon Rondo. There's a lot of scenarios that the Lakers could look for when it comes to, replacing Rajon Rondo. They can look at free agency. They can also look at potential trades, but still remains to be seen where the Lakers' mindset when it comes to potentially replacing Rajon Rondo. But get into more of this particular report. There's also in this report that the Lakers are aggressively pursuing to re-sign Rajon Rondo because he was such a huge success for the Los Angeles Lakers in the playoffs, and he's been a good player in the locker room, helping out certain players, young players like Kyle Kuzma, and just bringing that leadership not just in the floor but also in the locker room was a huge help for the Los Angeles Lakers as well. So but the Clippers, on the other hand, they're trying to upgrade the point guard position. With Patrick Beverley, it's not cutting with them. They want more an experienced point guard to help out, Kawhi Leonard and Paul George. So, and kind of puts now into perspective now that lots of teams in the NBA are going to be looking at Rajon Rondo now. So we have to face the facts that potential teams are going to be pursuing Rajon Rondo and his services. So, and it kind of puts now into perspective, what the Lakers are going to do now. I mean, rightfully so for Rajon Rondo is to get a raise, and we're not even sure how much money that's going to come to Rajon Rondo's way when it comes to the Clippers. So, and it's still too early to tell about free agency, when it's going to begin. Like I said I made a video this morning about potentially the NBA free agency might begin before Thanksgiving. So, and plus the draft begins on November 18th. So it kind of puts now into a lot of perspective of where the Lakers' mindset going into, basically November and, free agency, the draft. So there's a lot of perspectives the Lakers could look at when it comes to replacing a guy like Rajon Rondo. I made videos about this, past videos ago. If you guys go check them out, I'll leave, a couple of links in the right-hand corner of this video. They might pop up once you are seeing this and throughout this video. But kind of puts that into perspective now. Who the Lakers might pursue to replace Rajon Rondo, and it's kind of hard to say now. I mean, with this type of report, it kind of puts things into, kind of a plan B mode for the Los Angeles Lakers. It's not to say that they're not going to aggressively pursue Rajon Rondo, but to bring him back. But, they have to look at other alternatives now. Like I said in my past videos ago, the Lakers are showing, some interest. They're not reported, but, the idea that they might pursue players like Jeff Teague. They could potentially look at DJ Augustine. There's even the idea of rejoining Jordan Clarkson to the Los Angeles Lakers. I mean, most people are seeing that as a more realistic signee if somehow Rajon Rondo does not return with the Los Angeles Lakers. So there's that idea. And then you have to look at some other ideas that the Lakers could look at when it comes to bringing back certain players if somehow Rajon Rondo doesn't come back. There's KCP. There's a possibility of bringing him back. There's also, there's still remains to be seen about this, but it's already been too much into the, into the news realm of how Avery Bradley and JaVale McGee, if they're going to opt in or opt out of their contracts. I mean, it's already been almost 2 weeks now, or possibly 3 weeks now, since the Lakers won the championship, and more of the reports of, Rajon Rondo and KCP opting out of their contracts. It's already too deep now into the offseason that we can basically say, I mean, it's not reported, but Avery Bradley and JaVale McGee might opt into their contracts with the Los Angeles Lakers. So still remains to be seen about that, but there's it's already there that they might come back. But like I said, the Jeff Teagues, the DJ Augustines, and then you have Jordan Clarkson. There's also particular trades in mind. I already said this in my videos ago, but I'm going to repeat myself again. There is, the possibility of the Lakers trading for Chris Paul. But, like I said in my past videos ago, I mean, when it comes to contract-wise, it doesn't really match the Lakers' salary cap. I mean, unless they're going to be trading like what they did with Anthony Davis, just packaging a lot of players and some draft picks to get Chris Paul. And we have to think about the future as well. I mean, you have to look at what the Lakers will do in 2021 free agency when it comes to potential superstars going to be available for the Lakers if they're going to pursue certain players like from Giannis and other players that are going to be available by then. There's that possibility. And then you have to look at some other players as well. There is, Derrick Rose. He is a possibility of the Lakers could potentially pursue in free agency for a potential trade with the Detroit Pistons. So that's another possibility as well. So there's a lot of scenarios. There's a lot of scenarios that the Lakers are going to be looking at when it comes to if somehow Rajon Rondo does not come back. There's a lot of objectives and possibilities that the Lakers could look at when it comes to free agencies and trades. And then you can also look at the draft as well. There's potential point guards that the Lakers are going to be pursuing with the 28th pick in the NBA draft. Now, it still remains to be seen who is that particular player, because I haven't been really looking into that because there's not a lot of news about it lately. But once November hits, there's a possibility that the Lakers are going to be looking at potential draftees that could potentially somehow replace certain players for them to, how about the bench wise? Maybe they could potentially start, but it still remains to be seen about that. But, judging by how the draft goes, it's going to be loaded with point guards, and I know, knowing the Lakers, they might pursue a point guard or maybe a combo guard, maybe that plays multiple positions from the point guard, from the shooting guard position. So the possibilities are endless for the Lakers to potentially replacing, Rajon Rondo and the rest of the Lakers squad who are testing the free agency market. There's possibilities also from the unexpected free agents from Dwight Howard, and then there's Markieff Morris. I mean, there's a lot of positions that Lakers have to look at when it comes to bringing back certain players and, you know, adding on certain players, you know, that can help boost the bench wise and shooting wise. I mean, there's a lot of scenarios that the Lakers are going to be looking at. I want to know your thoughts and your opinions in the comment section down below. Like this video, subscribe to the channel. Guys, please give me your thoughts about the whole Rajon Rondo situation. Do you think the Lakers should bring back Rajon Rondo, or do you think there's somebody else in mind that the Lakers could pursue to replace a guy like Rajon Rondo? I mean, like I said, guys, in the beginning, there's possibilities that the Lakers are going to be aggressively, you know, trying their best to bring back Rajon Rondo, but you know, there's a lot of opportunities for them to, you know, somehow upgrade from Rajon Rondo. They could potentially look for a player that can score, that can also be a floor general-esque type of player. I mean, there's a lot of scenarios. Like I said, I mean, the trades, there's free agency with Jeff Teague, DJ Augustine, Jordan Clarkson, with trades with Chris Paul, possibly Derrick Rose. I mean, there's a possibility are endless for the Los Angeles Lakers to potentially replace Rajon Rondo if he doesn't come back to the Los Angeles Lakers. But there's also going to be another threat to the Lakers' chances for retaining the championship with the LA Clippers, because with adding Rajon Rondo to their squad, as an upgrade to the point guard position, it's going to basically be a sort of threat to the Los Angeles Lakers now. I mean, I never really thought that the Clippers would be that, but there's plethora of other players, really, or other teams, really, that they're going to be a huge threat to the Lakers when it comes to, you know, retaining their title. From the Golden State Warriors, there's possibilities are that the West are going to be much heavier now if somehow they sign certain players to upgrade their roster, from the Utah Jazz, from the Nuggets. I mean, their list goes on, which is why I really think that you know, Rob Pelinka needs to, you know, make sure that he has his A game when it comes to free agency once it potentially approaches. So it's basically endless for Rob Pelinka, of multiple ideas that he can basically go with. You know, it's just endless for him. So guys, please comment down below, like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you all in the next video. I really want to know your thoughts and your opinions about this particular report. Please comment down below, like, subscribe to the channel. I do appreciate every single one of you for showing me the love, support for my channel. It's just so endless and so overwhelming. I mean, you guys just, you know, kill it when it comes to, you know, the sharings, the comments, the likes, and especially liking all my social media sites from Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I mean, you guys just are killing it when it comes to, you know, giving me the love, support that you guys do. It's just, I'm so grateful for all of you for showing me the love, support for my channel. I mean, let's just continue on this thrive that we're on right now, and, you know, with subscribing to the channel and hitting that notification bell, you guys are just doing great at it, and I do appreciate all of you for doing so. And I'll see you all in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Go Lakers. Take it easy, guys. Stay safe out there.